So, something huge just happened in the software world. And no, it wasn't a market crash, not in the way you're thinking. It was something deeper, a great repricing of what everything is worth. And it's all because of AI. Today, we're going to break down exactly what that means and, honestly, why it changes everything.
So, what on earth could trigger such a massive shift? Well, believe it or not, it started with something that sounds almost silly. A company, Anthropic, just released a folder of AI prompts on GitHub. And prompts are really just instructions you give to an AI, nothing more. But in the days that followed, the market just shuddered. Billions, literally hundreds of billions, were wiped from the value of major software companies. It sounds insane, right? But that one folder was a symbol of a much, much deeper change that was already happening.
And here's the thing, this wasn't just a temporary freakout. It wasn't investors panicking. It was the market waking up and realizing that the fundamental rules have changed. This was a permanent repricing that redefines where value actually comes from in the age of AI. Okay, so let's really dig into this shock to the system. What does this repricing actually mean for a business? And why did the old rules of the software game just stop working overnight? Here's the core concept. Repricing is what happens when the market suddenly understands that a company's main product, the thing they charge thousands of dollars for, can now be built by its own customers for pennies on the dollar using AI. All of a sudden, the walls that protected that business, they just disappear. And that gets us right to the heart of the problem for the old software giants. For decades, they built these huge defensive moats around their businesses. Think secret proprietary code, long contracts, high subscription fees. Well, that moat is evaporating fast. It really sets up a battle between two completely different worlds. In one corner, you have the old model, expensive, rigid, one-size-fits-all software that's slow to change. In the other corner, you've got these new AI-built tools that are cheap, totally custom fit to what you need, and can be changed in an instant. The value isn't in the code anymore, it's in the actual productivity you get out of it. And this is where you can see the power is literally shifting into your hands. With AI coding assistants like Claude Code, pretty much any business can become its own little software company. You can build your own tools, your own automated workflows, and completely replace some of those expensive platforms you were paying for. Software isn't going away, not at all, but control is shifting from the company selling it to you, the person using it. What's really driving all of this is a fundamental change in how we need to think about AI. It's not just some tool you give commands to anymore. It's becoming a true partner, a coworker. It's funny, even the people at the very top of the AI world, guys like Sam Altman from OpenAI, have said they're surprised by how slow businesses are to really get this. A lot of people still think of AI as just a fancy chatbot, but its actual capabilities have just exploded way, way beyond that. And here's the real danger in being slow to adapt. Companies that don't restructure their work around this new reality are going to find themselves on the wrong side of a massive and widening productivity gap. The businesses that jump on this early are just going to pull further and further ahead, while everyone else gets left in the dust. So, let's be super clear about what we mean by an AI coworker. This is not a machine that just blindly follows your orders. It's a partner that collaborates with you. It can look at your work, suggest better ways to do it, and help you iterate and improve on the fly. It actually works with you. Okay, I know this can sound a little abstract, so let's look at a real-world example of this in action. It's from the hotel industry, a system called Guest Chat. So here's the workflow. First, the AI does all the grunt work. It pulls in a ton of raw data, checks thousands of website links, gets rid of all the duplicates, the tedious, mind-numbing stuff that used to take a human hours. Then, and this is the cool part, the human partner steps in, not to do the boring work, but to provide strategy and direction, to curate the list. And once they're happy, they hand it back to the AI to generate the final perfect report. And the results of this kind of human-AI partnership, it's just staggering. We're not talking about a little 10 or 20% improvement here. For these kinds of complex tasks, the productivity gain can be as much as 100 times. 100 times. This is the kind of leap that forces a market to completely reprice itself. This really is the new model for how work gets done. It's a future where humans are the strategists, the creative directors, and the final decision makers, while the machines handle the flawless, tireless execution. But hold on, because this shift doesn't just change how you work on the inside. The most mind-bending part of all this is that it's about to change who or maybe what your next customer is. Now, I want you to really think about this for a second. In the very near future, when someone wants to buy from you or compare your prices, they might not even visit your website. Instead, they'll send their own personal AI assistant, an autonomous AI agent, to go out and do all the research and make the purchase for them. So what in the world does that mean for your business? Well, for starters, your website can't just look good for human eyes anymore. It has to be perfectly structured so a machine can read and understand it. Your data has to make sense to an AI. And you're going to need your own AI assistant ready to have a conversation with your customer's AI assistant. It's a whole new world of agent-to-agent communication. So let's just pull it all together. The old advantages are fading away. Having secret, proprietary code doesn't matter as much anymore. What matters now is productivity and speed. High subscription fees are being replaced by adaptability, and having a website just for humans is no longer enough. The new competitive advantage is owning the AI conversation. And all of this leaves us with one final and really crucial question. This isn't science fiction. This isn't some far-off prediction. It's happening right now. The market has already repriced the old world. The only question left is your business ready to have a conversation with an AI?